Well, so today we're going to talk about ratchets. You can see I have a few ratchets sitting out in the bench here in front of me. Have half-inch, 3/8 and quarter-inch. Basically ranging from cheap to expensive. So, firstly, we have snap-on flex heads, Hazet half-inch, Hazet 3/8, Facom 3/8, Facom half-inch. Bahco half-inch, Bahco quarter-inch, and a Sealey 3/8 drive. This Sealey 3/8 drive ratchet is part of my very first socket set that my dad bought me. It's about, what would it be, 13, 15 years old. Still ticking. It's actually very, very smooth. Doesn't have that high of a tooth count. It's part of the Sealey Premier line. The screws did actually get lost. As you can see, it's been replaced. Sealey didn't sell the screws individually, so they actually just sent me a brand new ratchet. It's in the box, I don't use it. But I went down to the local bolt shop and I bought these two hex head screws, and they fit in there perfect. I just had to trim them down a wee bit. It's not the neatest of a job, I did it ages and ages ago, but yeah, this is a Sealey 3/8 drive, Sealey Premier 3/8 drive ratchet that came with the socket set, and I used this for basically the first 12 years of owning tools. Surprisingly quite a little, not very much back drag on it. If you're looking for a budget option, like extreme budget option, probably £15. Not a bad ratchet, but if I was looking for a different budget option with maybe a wee bit more expensive, £25–30, I would probably go with this Facom. This is literally the lowest back drag ratchet I have. It's one of my favourite 3/8 ratchets. Made in Italy, I think. Is it USAG? Rebrand this or make this, or I'm not too sure, but made in Italy, part number J.161B, and it's by Facom. Apparently it is IP 61 or 51. It's dust proof as far as I know. Very, very smooth ratchet and not a whole lot of back drag. There's actually less back drag on that than there is on this snap-on. Next one we have in question is the Hazet. I've only recently got this, but I have used it a good wee bit. It's the 8816HP. As far as I know, it's a 90 tooth. I'm not too sure what tooth count this is. It's probably in around 70 to 80. This is a 90 tooth Hazet, the newer style ratchet. The older style has the screws, but on Amazon, I got this on Amazon as part of a socket set. I was just changing the sockets out. And pictured on Amazon is the older ratchet, but I read the reviews and it actually comes with the newer, this style ratchet. Metal flicker switch. I do know that for a short period, I think it was Hazet did a plastic flicker switch here and people were having problems, maybe dropping the ratchet and it was breaking, but this is all metal apart from the handle. Very, very comfortable ratchet in comparison to the Facom. Around about the same size, but you can see the Facom has slightly lower profile than the Hazet. Facom has less back drag than the Hazet, but this has a finer tooth count. But I'm sure it hasn't been used all that much, but I'm sure it will break in a wee bit more over time. This Facom has quite a lot of turns clocked up. Next ratchet is, we'll go instead of 3/8, we'll go to snap-on. This is a dual 80, part number FX80A. Yes, FX. Can you see that? FX80A. And this is a lock and flex. The reason I got a lock and flex was I didn't want to have to buy two. I bought this second hand on eBay, I think for £80. Quite smooth as it is. The flex head isn't wobbly, it's not going to, unless you flick it hard, it's not going to close or move. I rarely use it unlocked. I normally use it like this. Reason being, if I'm up in somewhere and I want to put the socket onto something, I want to try and apply some pressure, to stop the socket slipping off. So I normally lock it. I know some people complain about the locking mechanism and that it clicks out quite easily, so you could be using it unlocked and the next thing you drop it and there we go, it's locked. Yes, that is quite annoying, but like I said, I tend to use it locked most of the time. I'm not too sure what length that is, but in comparison to the Hazet, it seems to be the Americans favour longer ratchets. I would use, probably my most used ratchet would be this one, along with this one, but this one is now moved out of my toolbox into a kit, so these two would be my most used 3/8 ratchets. There is a place, a lot of the American garage journal forums say, oh, there's no place for small 3/8 ratchets, but there really is. I was changing the steering rack on my van the other week. Had to get down in the back of the engine to tighten on a part onto it with a hex head socket. Trying to reach down in the back of the engine, and it was, as far as I know, it was a 6mm hex head. I didn't have a 6mm hex head socket for my 1/4" drive ratchet, and there was just about enough room to get this turned down in the back of the engine. This here, there definitely wouldn't have been enough room. So that's 3/8 covered. Now we'll go to 1/2" drive, and then we'll do 1/4 last. So we'll start this Bahco. This came as part of a set of Bahco sockets. Very, very heavy, feels quite robust. Haven't really used it all that much. Quick release on it. I do like quick release ratchets. You know, you could be flapping about there with dirty sockets and slippy hands and trying to pull sockets off. Quick release, literally all you need to do, oh shit, hit the button, bang, sockets off. People say, oh, you hit the button by accident and blah blah. I've never once hit the button by accident down in the back of an engine or whatever. You know, I've never once hit the button. I grew up with quick release ratchets, like the Sealey quick release. But yeah, the quick release is good, and I suppose it's not good if you do hit that button. I don't know, I've never had that problem, but for a good budget level ratchet, this Bahco, I think it's about 60 tooth, quite heavy. Facom, a wee bit lighter, I think. The tooth count's a wee bit higher in the Facom. I don't know, I can't remember what the tooth count is in these Facoms. Again, Facom made in Italy. This one is same as the 1/4 or the 3/8 drive. I think rebranded by USAG or made by USAG, one or the other. Again, the back drag on it is quite low. This ratchet just hasn't had as much use. I don't really use 1/2" a lot often. Quite low back drag comparing it to the Bahco. Yeah, there's a wee bit lower back drag on the Facom comparing it to the Hazet. Again, this ratchet hasn't really been used that often. It basically got these two around about the same time with kits. So they have had a bit of use, but they haven't had that much use, so they're not really broke in as far as the rest of the ratchets go. They've had quite a bit of use, minus the Bahco. So back drag on that, just by going by hand, feels quite low, but again, it's not as low as the Facom. It's not as, you know, easy to turn, but if you listen, and that's a 916 HP made in Germany. Hazet. I really like this ratchet. I like ratchets normal size. You know, if you're doing, like, this is a beast. I picked this up on eBay actually for £140. They're eBay, the cheapest I've seen them since I bought this is £200 odd. Now, this is brand spanking new on eBay. I just came up on eBay, new listing, and the next thing I clicked on it, brand new listing, literally listed like a couple of minutes. Clicked on it, I thought, fuck me, quick, check price and Snap-on website, check the rest of the eBay prices, bang, bought it. Lock and flex, literally never use this fucker. Use it for tightening the wheel nuts in the van after I give them one ooga dooga, and then I torque them down with this until I hear the click. So yeah, lock and flex, Very, very smooth, hardly any use on this, but the back drag on this, bloody minimal. Listen. But very, very little back drag. This is the smoothest, I think, out of all the ratchets, bar this one. So, what have I not covered? Oh, the Bahco, 1/4 inch. Again, this came as part of a kit whenever I was just buying a wee, I think I picked it up in Amazon warehouse, the 1/4 inch drive kit. I think for about 14 or 15 pounds. Quite a bit of back drag on it. You know, it wouldn't be the highest of quality ratchets, but if you don't want to spend a lot of money, there's really nothing wrong with this Bahco stuff. Again, it's only maybe 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. Sealey, I'm not too sure. There's very, very little back drag now, actually. I'm not too sure if you're to buy Sealey now what the quality is actually like. I haven't really bought much Sealey stuff. I've bought a couple of impact sockets, you know, in the bigger drive sizes, 40mm and whatnot, because I'm not paying fucking 40 or 50 pounds for a Hazet or a Stavilla or whatever socket that's going to be used once to remove a hub nut. So, all in all, where's my favourite? I think this has to be my favourite. Just like the feel of it. It's just a nice size. Like I was saying, the size of ratchets, if you're working on a motor, working on a typical car or a small, you know, like a wee small van or something, you know, like what I drive, you're not going to use a fucking ratchet like this. Like, why is the fuck up? You know, how are you going to fit that into the wheel arch to turn a bolt or whatever? Or, what the fuck? If you're changing a wishbone, what is it? Maybe a 16mm or a 17mm pinch bolt, or a 16 or 17mm pinch bolt onto the ball joint. You get away with if you want to use 1/2 inch, fucking use this. You know, there's no call for that bastard thing there. That there is plenty big. You can get enough torque in that. Normally, if I'm working around the suspension anyway, I'm just using this, which realistically isn't much bigger than the Hazet. So you can see where I'm coming from. My most used ratchets would be, get all this shit out of the way. Since we've got these two seem to be my go-to in either drive size, closely followed by my snap-on and the wee snap-on. These would be my most used ratchets. If you need to get ratchets, you're not on too strict of a budget, I would go for these. And I would pick up a brake. And then you don't need a big long ratchet. So, all in all, these seem to be my favourite users. The Bahco stays in a kit in my van. Facom stays in a kit. The wee Bahco stays in a kit. The Sealey stays in a socket set over on the shelf. The snap-on, it does stay in my drawer, my toolbox, because I use it to tighten wheels down. And this Facom stays in my drawer as well, but I am possibly thinking of selling this because I don't like having too much stuff about, you know. I don't see any need in having fucking 1/2 inch drive, 1/2 inch drive, 1/2 inch drive, 1/2 inch drive. If that one shits the bed, I've got this one until I can get that one repaired, the Bahco. If that, you know, or I've got that one. But anyway, ratchets. So hopefully that's give you a wee bit of an insight. I'll actually get the tape measure out just because I will. And we will do a bit of measuring here and see. So the Facom coming in roughly at 10 inches. Hazet about 10 and 3/4 inches. 3/8 Hazet about 7.5, 7 3/4. Snap-on 11.5. 6, 6 1/4. 18 and about 10. So yeah, hopefully that's give you a bit of insight into some of the ratchets and if you're on the fence about any of them, I can just say, if you're on the fence about this, just go for it. Pick whatever one you like the look of best. So, over and out.